Traveling Vino. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Your man Joe P. Spider here. And as we all know, a couple months back, I've taken a cruise on the MSC's, one of their newer vessels, the MSC Seascape. I got plenty of videos about it. About stuff to do throughout the ship. But people are like, overall, how do you like the ship? You haven't done a video about that. So here we go. First of all, when you walk in there, I gotta say, it's well laid out, very spacious in the hallways. Sometimes the hallways be a little bit cramped, but you got plenty of elbow room. But number one overall, as always, with a cruise ship, staff, excellent. Excellent staff. I mean, from the moment greeting you on until you leave, the staff on that ship, and they just blew me away. Very helpful. If you needed something, they made sure you got it. You needed help, they would stop what they're doing, just focus on you and help you out. So I will say, the one thing I do like the MSC Seascape is the staff. Excellent staff. Entertainment-wise, there's like endless entertainment on there. You can't get bored. There's a lot to do, even like for the kids. I know some of us, we got families, you got kids, even toddlers and stuff. There's always something for them to do, and also you as well as an adult. So when you're on that ship, you will not get bored. I know what you're thinking. Let's get to the good part. Food! Once again, delicious. From the buffet, the food was good. Main dining hall, depending on where you were sitting. Once again, food is excellent. I do recommend going to the steakhouse, though. That food is good. Very delicious, too. I'm not real big on sushi. They got sushi on there, sushi restaurant, but I'm a meat eater. My food has to be cooked. Nothing wrong. I'm not a big sushi person, but overall, the food is good. So you won't be let down in that department. Food. They got about for those of you that like water slides, they got I want to say 4. Well, actually 5. I say 4 because I'm not getting on the little the kiddie one, but they got 4 different water slides on there instead of just like maybe 2 like most cruise ships. They got, like I said, 5 different ones. Really 4 for the adults. You'll have fun on the water slides too. All right. Entertainment wise, like I was saying, you can't go wrong with the entertainment. When I went anyway, they've had a comic on there, and the comic did an adult show, which had the foul language and everything, and then later on, she did a family or in a show, which it's kind of like the same thing except for the adults. You've got the profanity and stuff in it. So the comic was great. The shows are great. Even throughout the ship, you got musicians playing. You got the dueling pianos and stuff right there in the atrium. So, had a good time. There's a big arcade in there. I did like the arcade. Although my favorite was the 4D theater. You go in there, you put your glasses on. You're shooting up zombies and you're shooting up werewolves and stuff like that. So that was pretty fun. You could always get a pass, where you can you pay, I forget how many arcade games you're allowed to play, and it also includes the Robotron, which is the first roller coaster at sea that they got on there. So you get that, save some money. I however did not get that. And, I'll explain on that later. But, yeah, you go in there, like I say, arcade games. Oh, also they got the Formula 1 racer in there. So if fans of Formula One, I know a lot of foreigners are, not too many Americans, but they got a Formula One racer in there. You get on the racetrack, the cars moving up and down, side to side, stuff like that. So being realistic, and that is pretty fun. So again, like entertainment wise, for the adults and the kids, it's always something to do. Went to the white party. You dressed up in all white. That was pretty awesome. So you like the party? MSC Seascape. As a matter of fact, like damn near every night there was some sort of party going on. You even had a silent disco, which I didn't go to, but they have it for those that are into it. All right, plenty of photo ops for those that like to take the spouse and like take pictures and stuff, and even for the selfie nuts out there. There's plenty of places throughout the ship, in and out, that you can take a lot of good pictures with. I did a video before about the bridge size and stuff like that. So on both ends, and also the back. There's plenty of places on that ship where you can just take like perfect photographs, even on the stairs with diamonds inside. You cannot run out of places to run. Cannot run out of places to take good photos. But so I will say that ship. I said for those that like taking selfies and stuff like that. Doesn't matter where you're at. Front, back, left, right, top of the ship, inside the ship. There's plenty of places where you can get good photo ops, and especially for couples. If you like romance, taking pictures on those bridges are perfect. Along with other places that they have on the ship. Like I said, inside as well, there's plenty of places you can take good photo ops. So, get your cameras ready, get your phone, whatever. But plenty of places to get plenty of places you can get a good photo op. That's one thing I did like about the MSC Seascape. It's everywhere you go, you just have people just taking pictures, And also I find, that, hey, that's why we're here. We spend our good money, have a good time, capture the memories. And there's a lot of memories to be made on that ship too. All right. Now, with all that said, probably wondering about the negatives. I mean, I really had to dig deep about the negatives on the ship. I mean, it's real small, nothing real big. I was saying before about the Robotron, why I didn't get the package to include that. Well, one thing about the Robotron is it's basically, I wouldn't say it's made for small people. Like 300 plus pounds. The bar is not going to be able to like come down and like snap down for safety. I'm sitting there, I got the thing over me. I mean, I'm pushing. I even got the dude pushing, but it just wouldn't snap. So, you got to keep in mind MSC. You got big people on your ship. Don't just cater everything to, the small guests that are like 225. I mean, you're going to have some people like 325 around there on that ship. And so if they would have made it a little bit larger, me and along with a lot of other guests could have gotten on it. Going to, experience the fun. So that's, like I said, not nothing huge, but, it's a small negative right there. Another thing as far as the room goes, I had a balcony. My room was perfect location. I was on the 14th floor. The only thing I didn't like about the room, like I said, that's getting small. It's not going to really kill my cruise. As us cruisers know, those bathrooms are more like closets. Yeah. And when I had to do a number 2 on the toilet, well, let's just say I really couldn't get comfortable. I kind of had to shift like kind of to the side, like, and I was still kind of snug. So MFC, if you can just make the bathroom, just a little bit bigger, just a little bit, maybe half a foot or so. Whereas, where I can sit down, take a number two, and actually be comfortable, and I'm not leaning all like this, kind of cramped up. Hey, when I gotta push it out, and I need comfort. Not quite sure the rest of us. So I'm sitting there thinking, I can't imagine how people are coping that are like bigger than me, on this damn toilet. So, like I said, nothing that's going to really make or break the cruise, but it's still just a minor negative right there. Now, I actually do have a big negative on there. Like I said, not going to make or break a cruise, but it's something that MSC could definitely have done better. That I've expected better was that inside the when you go to the buffet, the drink machines, the ones you get a cup and you got a selection of different drinks and stuff. Now, if water wasn't coming out, the drink that you did get was watered down. And that wasn't just like day one. I mean, it was like the whole cruise. I mean, numerous times I've gone back and I'm like, okay, hopefully they fix it out this time. And same result. And it didn't matter when I went from, breakfast or, dinner, or if I went to a different machine, it was all the same. Drinks were coming out. Either, like I said, you expecting lemonade, water. You expecting apple juice. It's very water. I mean, not a little bit. I mean, it's like extreme, like watered down to the part you can literally not taste the apple. And me and like everybody else, like we resorted to just bringing our own sodas and drinks and stuff and juices to the buffet instead of wasting time going to the machine and getting water or getting something watered down. So that right there, MSC could have definitely improved on. I mean, I'm not one to really just go up and say, hey, you guys need to do something about this. I figured, I'll be honest, I figured they'd be professional, that they would take care of it. But apparently, like I said, the whole cruise, like I said, maybe it was just my cruise, but when I went back in January of 2025, that's how it was. You go there and it was watered down. So like I said, overall, I had a good experience, had a great time, great ship. MSC really outdid themselves on this ship. Would I definitely sail on it? Yes. You kidding me? I had a great time on there. I wish the casino would have treated me a little bit better, but other than that, I had a good time. Like I said, everything was great on that ship. Just the small negatives. Like I said, if you're a big person, you're not going to really able to experience the Robotron, and bathrooms. They're kind of cramped. They're cramped in the first place, but just to take a number two in there, it's hard to get kind of comfortable, and you gotta do all this to the side, stuff like that. And again, they just need to fix the drink machines. I mean, because watered down apple juice and cranberry juice, that doesn't do it for me. Like I said, they're more professional. They're very, very professional. That's something MSC takes pride in, and that's something that I would not have expected from them. But like I said, it didn't, necessarily break my cruise. Overall, I still had a good time. I want to say thank you to MSC. Every time I go on there, it doesn't matter what ship I'm on. I mean, even though this is my second ship, I've done the Divina prior to this. But, when I get on there, MSC treats me good. Staff treats me good. Like I said, this my third MSC cruise, second ship. But MSC Seascape, out of 5, I'm giving it a 4.5. Because, like I said, the drink machines, dispersing water down the drinks, and the bathroom could have been a little bit, spacious, and, the Robotron. Come on, you're going to have big people that's going to want to go on there, Not everybody's under 300 pounds. And that's something that should have been considered in the design. So, you got big people on there just, we're at the buffet, we're dining like all damn day. So, not to mention all the food that we're eating when we hit these ports. So, you're going to have some big people on there, and you got to accommodate them as well. leave us out. But like I said, just those small things. I said out of 5, 4.5. I said those small things just kept it from getting near perfect. You know, and I'm not just watering it down, but truly, I had a great time. I had an excellent experience in MSC Seascape. I will go in there again. I recommend, if you haven't, you know, go in there once, and you have a good time too. All right, I'll bring this video to a close. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. Most importantly, hey, if it weren't for you, I wouldn't be here. All right, take care. See you in the next video. Spider out.